Plan 9 from Outer Space. What can be said about this movie? Well, I don't think it's the worst movie ever made. I think that still goes to Elf Day. That is by far the worst movie I've ever seen, is Elf Day. If you've not seen Elf Day, it is still on Peacock. Go watch it if you want to watch something absolutely horrid. Plan 9 deals with aliens and zombies and alien zombies and a bomb that I don't remember, that will explode the sun. So it starts out with Criswell talking about how this actually happened. Criswell was an actual guy in the 50s who went on and predicted the future in TV, and who Ed Wood knew from somewhere and got him to be in the movie. I don't know how Ed Wood got half the people to be in these movies that he did. I honestly don't know. I don't know if he bribed them, if he sucked their cocks. I don't know. But he got these people to be in their movies who were actually known people. Then we see Bela Lugosi, who was the actual friend of Ed Wood's, and who Ed Wood paid for his rehab, being an old man whose wife died. And his wife is played by Vampira, who, once again, I don't know how Ed Wood got to be in this movie, because she was a well-known horror host at the time. I don't know how Ed Wood got to be in this movie, because was Ed Wood just good at sex, and he could sex people and get them to be in the movie? I don't know. Because he couldn't pay well, because none of his movies did well. So I don't know how Ed Wood got these people to be in these movies. Bela Lugosi was an actual friend of his. And then Bela Lugosi dies. But he's still in parts of the movie. And in parts of the movie, his character is played by a dentist in a toupee. And then we meet our hero, Pilot, who's on a cardboard set, who sees a UFO, and his co-pilot has the first cellular phone, well, it's first portable phone, hanging around his neck as a necktie. And they call in a UFO, but nothing happens. And then at the old man's funeral, then after the old man's funeral, they find the two workers from the old woman's funeral dead. So Tor Johnson, the chief of police, who was actually another friend of Ed Wood's, but was a professional wrestler before he was an actor, who just would do any kind of acting work you gave him. Literally, you could give him a sandwich and say, go do Shakespeare, and he'd go do Shakespeare. And he played the police chief, the police inspector, who dies and comes back as a zombie. Now, we haven't met the aliens yet, so hang with me. The aliens are spotted everywhere. And we meet the colonel, whose job it is to shoot down the aliens, with some stock footage of our army people. And you can tell it's stock footage if you watch the original movie in black and white. The color version I watched, you can't really tell it's stock footage. But in the black and white version, you can kind of tell it's stock footage. In the color version, you can kind of tell it's stock footage because it's a grade above what Ed Wood's footage looks like. Ed Wood's footage looks like cheap cardboard sets. The army footage looks like it came from an actual movie. So then, the pilot dude makes his wife promise to lock the doors before he goes on another plane ride. And she agrees to do this. But the old man visits her in the night and is like, I'm the old man. Actually, he doesn't talk because he's played by a dentist at this point. Except in day shots where he's played by Bela Lugosi, he's just hanging around the cemetery for some reason, thinking he's Dracula again. And him and Vampira, who's his dead wife, which I could totally see Bela Lugosi being married to Vampira, and Tor Johnson, who's back from the dead, chase her through the cemetery, who she just happens to live next door to, and she gets picked up by a guy in a car who just so happens to know her. And I think I know why. One of the reasons this movie didn't do well. This woman always wears pants. Women didn't wear pants in the 50s. This movie was racy because this woman wore pants. So then the colonel gets his secret mission to go to San Fernando where these aliens are happening. And we meet up with the aliens and they say they're doing Plan 9. But the one electro gun jams and the one alien gets choked by Tor Johnson. How an electro jams, I don't know. It's electricity. Electricity doesn't jam. It blows a circuit or it blows a fuse but in Ed Wood movies, electricity jams. I guess I wanted to be great for a minute. That was a bad joke, by the way. So, the colonel, along with the airplane pilot and the lieutenant who's now in charge of the case, go to the cemetery, leaving the airplane pilot's wife and a rookie cop in a car. They go to find the aliens and figure out what's up. Tor Johnson comes and knocks out the rookie cop, and then takes the pilot's wife to bring her to the aliens, and the aliens let the people in, and they're like, you can't have the bomb that explodes the sun that your people are working on. It's like, why are we working on a bomb that explodes the sun? That's all I was asking myself. Why would we work on a bomb that explodes the sun? That's just insanity. It's like, well, this was the 50s. We could have very easily been working on a bomb that explodes the sun in the 50s. I mean, we kept looking at bigger and bigger bombs. So then they get in a big fight, and the spaceship blows up, and the dead people turn to bones, and it's happily ever after. Except for Tor Johnson, who's now a pile of bones. And that's pretty much Plan 9 in a nutshell. Now, there's a lot of funny things that happen in between here. Like day turns to night, night turns to day rapidly in between. A tombstone gets shaken by the old man when he's chasing a woman. There's a giant tombstone behind Tor Johnson when he's riding from his grave. The tombstone behind his grave when we see his grave is just this little thing that falls into his grave when he gets out. So there's a lot of Ed Wood insanity in this movie. And it's a good movie. Especially if you look for all the Ed Wood insanity. There are all the things that just don't fucking make sense. So watch Plan 9 from Outer Space. Here's a word from my sponsor. Is it a spoon? Is it a fork? It's both. It's a spork. The greatest utensil ever made. You can both eat ice cream with it and eat a steak with it just as easily. Get in a knife fight? Use a spork. It's the greatest utensil ever made. Eat salads? Eat ice cream, eat soups, eat everything, and stab your wife to death with a spork.